Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I will continue the series of talk on health topic with the title Body Clock. Uh, why is the body clock important? Actually, or what is body clock? Actually, body clock is an internal clock in our body which control important bodily processes. For example, to let you know when you're hungry, you have to eat. When you're thirsty, you have to drink. When you're tired, to sleep. Our body might experience lethargic or tiredness if we don't follow the body clock. For example, you late sleep for a few nights. Okay, night time you're supposed to sleep according to the body clock, but you didn't sleep, then you encounter this lethargic. Even worse, our body might have increased risk of various diseases. One of them is actually what we mentioned by Jim just now, hypertension. It's actually also due to, can be one of the reasons due to the insynchronized to the body clock. I'll share with you later. And our body might have increased risk of various diseases if our body clock is disturbed. For example, stomach ulcer can happen if our normal meals is not eating follow our body clock. And interestingly, the Nobel Prize winner of 2017 Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine in 2017 awarded to 3 doctors who proved the body clock exists. So I'll share with you a body clock that actually combine a body clock that from the Chinese meridian body clock and also Western circadian clock. I also share with you how we can better align our daily activity to the body clock. Okay, the topic today, body clock. Actually, body clock was mentioned both in TCM and the Western world. In TCM, we call Chinese body clock, which is more related to TCM. And in a Western world, they call circadian rhythms. Okay, so actually, in this presentation, I actually have a body clock that combine both the TCM Chinese body clock and the circadian rhythm, which I'll share with you later. Very interesting, so you can better to know how we align our body or daily activity to this body clock. So let's start with overview. What is a body clock? As I mentioned, there are 2 clocks exist, TCM and the Western clock. So according to TCM, there is Chinese body clock. The body have a strict schedule of self-care and self-regulating of various organs. For example, our liver, our lung, our heart, within the body at a specific time, a day and night. Meaning that at a specific time and day, there is a clock that actually self-regulating the function of this organ. And an abnormal body clock is the reason behind our body imbalances. Let's say if you have this abnormal body clock, that you're not doing something at that hour when this particular organ is supposed to regulate by itself, so this will cause imbalance. And according to biology study or Western study, they also have a body clock we call circadian rhythm. So what is circadian rhythm? Any biological process that display endogenous. Endogenous means that built-in our body, not we apply something external, and it self-sustain means that it can move by itself, not like our clock on the wall. You have to put the battery. This is built-in and self-sustain. Entrainable, it can adjustable, means that according to your maybe the sun and the moon, actually you can adjust accordingly. For example, if today you're in Singapore, then you move to US to stay, and this clock can adjust by itself. Entrainable, oscillation for about 24 hours. An abnormal circadian rhythm in human is known as circadian rhythm disorder. It means that, just like I mentioned, similar to our Chinese body clock, you have abnormal body clock. So if in here we call circadian rhythm disorder. For example, unable to sleep, unable to go to sleep and awaken at the time commonly required for work and school as well as social need. So actually it means that time you're supposed to sleep, you're not able to sleep. You're supposed to go to school and go to work, then you cannot awake. So this is abnormal circadian. Okay, this topic, I selected this topic and I presented before, I think 2-3 years ago, because the 2017 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine actually awarded to 3 doctors who proved our body got this circadian rhythm. So he's saying that this circadian rhythm is an regulatory feedback mechanism by cellular protein genes, one of genes called timeless, encoding a thin protein together mounted with period gene per PER clock. So the clock regulates critical functions such as behavior, hormone level, sleep, body temperature, and metabolism. Okay, when you're supposed to be sleep, your body temperature is high or low, and also when you eat and drink. And well-being is affected when there is a temporary mismatch between our external environment and this internal biological clock. It means that our well-being, our health will be affected if there's a mismatch what you are doing towards your internal biological clock. For example, when you travel to different time zone, you might experience this thing called jet lag. For example, you travel to US, there might be maybe a 12-hour lag jet. Here is maybe daytime. Let's say, for example, here might be daytime 4:30, at 3:30. The other side may be nighttime 3:30. This, for example. And there are also indications that chronic misalignment between our lifestyle and the rhythm detected by our inner timekeeper is associated with the increased risk of various diseases, as I mentioned in the opening. If these two, what you're supposed to do at that hour is not synchronized with your internal clock, then it might cause various diseases. So that is the idea. Okay, so I give you a so-called a circadian rhythm timetable. This one is, I mentioned just now, is by the Western. When you're supposed to have sleep, when you're supposed to have a so-called your wake up and your even to your colon when you deactivated or when you activated. I will go through in detail in my combined table. Okay, so let's look at Chinese body clock. Chinese body clock is actually linked to our meridians, 经络. Each meridian is more active in specific hour. You will experience symptoms during the hour when this particular meridian is more active. Actually, we have about 12 meridian. Okay, we have 五脏六腑, 5 together, 五脏六腑 plus the pericardium. So altogether, there are 12 major organs in our body, and these 12 major organs, they actually have a certain active time, and so we divide 24 hours by 12. So this particular organ actually will active for 2 hours. Okay, this particular meridians of this organ. So it means that you will experience symptoms during the hour when this particular meridian is more active. For example, you have problem with stomach and you have this unbalanced meridian of stomach way. You may feel worse between 7 to 9 a.m. because there is a time the stomach meridian is most active, and it's similar to our circadian rhythm. Unbalanced meridian can be manifested on all levels: physical, mental, emotional. It means it will affect not only physical, your mental, even emotional as well. And certain activities are best performed at certain time as to balance the meridian. Okay, so this is an example of the Chinese body clock timetable. You can see 11 to 1 p.m. is your gallbladder meridian active, 1 to 3 liver, 1 to 3 a.m. liver, all the way that, for example, 1 to 3 p.m. is small intestine, and all the way to maybe 9 to 11 p.m. where your sanjiao is a triple burner or heater that is more active. Okay, I will go through the combined one in detail for you all. Okay, I'll go through this body clock. You cannot find this from internet for sure, but I'm the one who created this combination of body clock of Chinese TCM meridian and circadian rhythm. To me, this body clock is important because sometimes I show this body clock to my so-called Lingzhi customer. Because sometimes we tell them that your lifestyle must be controlled a bit when you're taking Lingzhi for certain illnesses. For example, for hypertension, we know that hypertension, as mentioned by Jim, okay, is elevated blood pressure. And one example, if you look at the body clock point of view, why they have this hypertension for certain people nowadays. And one of the reason is actually lifestyle related. I will take one example is that actually blood pressure can be caused by 4 factors. Okay, the heart, the emotional aspect, okay, the viscosity of the blood, and also the blood vessel, the elasticity of blood vessel. And let's talk about one example why the blood pressure can be increased due to emotional. We know that sometimes blood pressure at night time will be coming down already. Okay, later I'll show it to you. But nowadays, a lot of people are work on night. Even they are not working, they actually try to stay alert for doing a lot of other things. Maybe they come back home quite late after work, but they still need to handle their home related so-called tasks. And they even need to, or sometime after that, they want to relax their mind. They want to watch movie, Korean movie. So people tend to sleep at maybe 2 a.m., 1 a.m. When you try to be awake at this moment, for example, mentioned by Jim, we need to keep awake, you need to have a slightly higher pressure for your blood to transport oxygen and nutrients to your body compared when you are sleeping, where you don't need so much. So, and to that, they need to have a increased adrenaline hormone. So, for example, if you are actually awake at 2 p.m. watching Korean movie, so the body will pump out your adrenaline hormones. But in normal day, the next day you are able to catch enough sleep, and the adrenaline will be go back to normal. But if you continue to do so every night, 1, 2 p.m. is still awake, 1, 2 a.m. is still awake, then the adrenaline hormone will be always high. The time will reach your hormone, the body will give up. You say, okay, let me maintain all the way high to you. So suddenly, you can see nowadays, even youngsters have hypertension. What's the reason? All this lifestyle related, not genetic related. So it's actually we ask for it until the body becomes a habit to turn on our pressure to the higher level. So that is the reason. So it's lifestyle related. So I want to use it as an example to show this body clock. Sometimes I explain this with my customer. I say, you take Lingzhi in my lifestyle. You're supposed to do things that you're supposed to do at certain hour of the day, of the night. If not, then you will actually cause a disturbance. This is an example. Okay, we start with the body clock. Okay, I divide the whole body clock into altogether 12 segments or 12 sector. Okay, and this 12 sector itself, every sector is about 2 hours. So they'll be multiplied by 12, will be 24 hours. And one sector actually is according to the active meridian of the organ according to TCM. So I started with 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. That's our gallbladder meridian. Danjing, most active. So you can see this is the one we're talking about gallbladder. So this is the one that meridian more active. Okay, at this time the gallbladder is supposed to be rest and re-energize by itself. So you should rest more. This is 11 p.m. you should start to rest already. Okay, and this is the one that is a time that you can sleep and regenerate your body. So that's why it's good that if you can sleep at 11 p.m. then your gallbladder can rest. Somebody might find that 11 a.m. Still very early. Okay, so if that is the case, actually that's not early. And 1 a.m. to 3 p.m. that is when the liver start to need to detox by itself. You know, liver is a detox organ. You need to actually detox the organ out from the body, and the fresh blood is made. If you awake at this time, actually 1 to 3 a.m., then high chance you have problem with your liver. And there's to a TCM, there's an emotional attached with this liver. Liver emotional attached anger, frustration, and rage. It means that if your liver no good, that we call 肝火盛 in Chinese, it means that you get angry easily. So you never rest well at 1 to 3 a.m. Then you'll never rest, then you become even more, you have more anger, you have more frustration. So actually, according to the TCM, 1 to 3 is the time that liver need to meridian need to active, means that liver need to rest. You should rest, you should sleep. So this is the time you should have sleep, resting, and even dreaming. Okay, so according to the green color, actually is circadian rhythm activity. You're supposed to have deep sleep at 2 a.m. according to the circadian. Okay, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. is where you have to sleep soundly, and this time is when your lung meridian active. Okay, and this is the time lung will regenerate, replenish their body with the oxygen. Okay, and this is the time that actually the body will go through lowest body temperature at about 4:30. That's why about 4:30 your body has a lower body temperature. So a lot of people got cold at this time, especially if you cover a blanket and you are the person like to kick blanket away. And especially at this about 4:30, the body temperature tend to be lowest, and you on your aircon, and sometimes plus raining, the body temperature, the outdoor temperature go low, then you get cold easily. That's why this time 4:30 is your body temperature lowest, and the lungs start to detox, and this one you should keep yourself warm. 5 to 7, this is the time that the large intestine meridian active, and this is the time is a perfect time to have bowel movement, go toilet, huh? And this is a time that the blood pressure start to rise according to the circadian timetable. You know why? Because this one you start to wake up. Though you are sleeping, the blood pressure will go low, and this is the time you have sharpest rose and blood pressure. Okay, and this is the time that you can start to do your business, and you can see that at about 7 to 9, that's when the stomach meridian is active. So this is the time we want to start the breakfast. Okay, and this is the time that also the melatonin secretion cease. Melatonin, I think you know that melatonin is also a hormone that make you sleep. It's supposed to have melatonin released at about night time, maybe 10 to 11 o'clock. When you wake up about maybe 7 o'clock, the melatonin will cease, then you wake up. So this is a circadian rhythm. So at 7:30, your melatonin secretion cease, means that your melatonin start to lower. You can wake up, huh? And this is the time that colon activation, evacuation likely. So this is the one you should go to toilet, because this one colon very active. That's why a lot of people go toilet at 7 to 9 a.m. or even started at 5 when your colon meridian is active. Okay, and this is the time you should eat your breakfast. Your stomach meridian is active already. And continue 9 to 11 is where our spleen. Our spleen 就是our spleen is an organ that actually very important for digestion. Okay, so 脾脏, and this is the time that the help to enzyme are released to help digest food, release energy to the daily ahead. Okay, so this one is the time that after you eat your breakfast, and this is the time that you start to receive all the energy from what you eat in the body. So this is the time you should do exercise and or go to work, and your alertness is peak at this point of time. And come by 11 to 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. This is the time that your heart start to pump nutrient around the body to help provide you with energy and nutrient. Okay, so and this is the time that we always say the adrenaline hormone will be slightly higher, and according to some study, this is the time that there's a greatest risk of heart-related incident, where your blood pressure start to want to go to the peak already, start to move out already. Actually, at this point of time, blood pressure actually moving out higher and higher. And this is the time you eat your lunch. Okay, then maybe you're having a short cup of tea. Okay, and 1 to 3 is the time that where your small intestine is meridian is active. So this time is when your food you eat at lunchtime start to be digested and assimilate to the whole body. And this time you can do some more daily tasks or exercise. And this is the time that your coordination tend to be better. So actually 1 to 3, you can do something that you need to have. If you don't follow the body clock, I think that's where your body is not balanced. So that's where it will affect your body system. For example, respiratory system, nervous system, circulatory system, immune system, metabolic endocrine system, and digestive system. So remember, imbalance of our body clock will affect our body function, which is body system. So for example, here you can see that if your respiratory system no good, you might have asthmatic, pneumonia, bronchitis. Nervous system, you might have some sleep disorder problem. You have imbalanced circulatory system, you might have high or low blood pressure that actually, just as I mentioned by Jean, will lead to high risk of heart disease and stroke. And digestive system, we have liver disease, gastric ulcer, and constipation. And metabolic endocrine, we have diabetic aging and kidney problem. And also immune system, we have allergy, even have another extreme we call autoimmune system. So actually, it's not easy to maintain our so-called our body clock. So that if you cannot maintain that, then they'll affect all these systems. So in this case, what should we do? Of course, we'll talk about our Lingzhi, our Gaudoderma. Our Gaudoderma is very good for immune system, our blood circulation, our detox organ, liver, and degenerate our body cell. So let me be more specific. Number one thing Gaudoderma can do is regulate immune system. Two things, regulate means that it can improve immune system against attack of external invasion, for example, bacteria and the viruses, and also prevent internal mutation of cell to become cancer cell. And just like I mentioned, there's a extreme of immune system, we can become too high, we tend to have autoimmune. Gaudoderma in this case can actually prevent autoimmune diseases. Number two, Gaudoderma is improve blood circulation. That's important. When your blood circulation is smooth, you can transfer nutrient and O2 and the waste product to your blood system and transfer them back. And number three that Gaudoderma can do is protect liver, increase liver cell regeneration. I think this is important. This enhance detox. Remember, liver is our detox organ. And Gaudoderma is very famous to enhance our liver detox process. Number four, Gaudoderma is very good for repair cell. Has a very strong antioxidation property that actually can anti-free radical. And this one can rejuvenate your cell and let your body tissue, body system, and organ more healthy. Okay, so in order for the Gaudoderma to have effectiveness, we need to choose a Gaudoderma that is contain tretinoin and macromolate. Okay, I think just now Jim mentioned about why we choose Songho Lingzhi, because it always labeled with the highest level of tretinoin and macromolecular polysaccharide. So let me talk about generally our Songho product, actually how we help to balance the 6 body system, just in case you have balanced immune system. For the respiratory system, okay, so Gaudoderma is famous to can relieve cough and asthmatic. I think we did this topic before. It also can prevent so-called the absorption of PM 2.5 particle to our lung. So this is important. Protein, our Jiahuo soya protein is very good for lung as well. For nervous system, we tend to have stress and dementia. Gaudoderma has been prevent dementia, and this vitamin B group also is very good for our nervous system. I think where to get vitamin B group, we can get majority of vitamin B group from our Yongqian pollen. Immune system I mentioned just now, Gaudoderma is famous to regulate immune system, and we also have probiotic. Actually, you can take it's from our lactoberry, can actually also train our immune system balance in our gut. For regulating circulatory system, there's the 3 high. I think today we have this topic on hypertension. Gaudoderma is important to regulate our blood circulation, regulate our blood pressure. And in our soya protein powder, we have this thing lecithin. Actually, can cleanse our bloodstream or blood vessel. Regulate metabolic and endocrine system. Okay, so this one is actually we have, if this system is not balanced, we have hormone imbalance and kidney function problem. So Gaudoderma is very good for this, and this soya isoflavone is actually very good for hormone imbalance. The last system we discussed today is the digestive system. One of the imbalance will cause gastric ulcer and liver function. So Gaudoderma and probiotic and also our fiber actually is very good for this regular digestive system. Okay, so Songho product regulate the body from pre-illness stage to healthy stage. So today our topic actually focus on our body can become imbalanced because we actually work, our active body actually work against the body clock, and because of this imbalance, we can cause all these problem in our body system. and this all the potential health problem and body system. And actually, the best is that we can work along that, align our activity to the body clock. But maybe due to work or due to other constraints, we might not able to do so. So maybe we can take some supplement like gadolinium that actually help us to regulate the system back from the pre-illness stage to the healthy stage. I think today there's the purpose of sharing this topic of body system and how we can use our health food to actually balance the body system as well. I think this is my topic today. Okay, thank you.